guys, it's ALCHEMY. How's everyone doing? Good, I hope. It's time for the February questions and answers video. There was a lot this time, but I'll try and keep it brief. Let's just begin and find out what you guys were wondering about in February. It's the worst month to say. So the first question came from 6 Sage and it was on my Tom Ford white patchouli video. She says, she didn't say ever, made that up. Have you had a chance to smell the new Bulgari Splendida Patchouli Temptation? I have not. I have, however, smelled some of the other ones in that line. I remember because I really like the colour scheme of all of the ones that they're releasing. I'm pretty sure I did the Tuberose one. What is it like? I don't know. Maybe I should get a sample. The Tuberose one I think was okay. I know you asked me about the patchouli one, but I didn't smell that one, sorry. Yeah, the Tuberose one was really nice. There's a red one as well, I think, that I tried, but I'm sure there's a mimosa one or one other flower that I really want to try. Thanks for jogging my memory. I'm gonna go and check them out. The next question, in fact, the next 10 questions were all on the same video, so I'm not gonna say that every time. They were all on my last questions and answers video. This one comes from Christine and B. Okay, so a more personal question for the next round, perhaps. I'm assuming you're a foodie. Being that your sense of smell is heightened, what's your favorite ethnic food? Also, your favorite meal to prepare? The answer to that question is the same for both. Indian food is my favorite food ever. I think as a nation, the Brits, we love a good curry. We just love curry. You can get curry everywhere here. I mean, I have an entire cupboard full of spices. I think I make a really good curry. And I've heard lots of people say that before, and then I've eaten their curry and thought, mine's better. But I like making it from scratch, especially there's one called a Kashmiri Rogan Josh. Takes so long to make. The spices alone take about half an hour to prepare. Lots of toasting, lots of grinding, all of that stuff. But I really love Indian food. The first time I went to India, I went to Kerala in the south. And I ate Indian food 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I did not get bored. It made me realize how much I love Indian food. Second favorite, just for the record, is Mexican, but when it's good Mexican food, not Taco Bell, not Chiquitos, not even Oaxaca in London. I've been there 3 times now and been disappointed every time. Proper good Mexican food. As you can tell, I like spicy stuff. She also asked, have you ever visited the United States? If so, where did you visit? I have visited 3 times, actually. I can't really say that I've really experienced America though, because all 3 times that I went to Walt Disney World in Florida, which isn't reality at all. It's not even America. It's a fantasy world that is designed to make you feel like you're not in the real world. So I will say I have not been to America. I would really like to. I mean, I have been, but I haven't experienced what America has to offer. I really want to go to New Orleans. I really want to go to Vegas. I really want to go to Vermont. I really want to go to Alaska. I really want to go to San Francisco. There's a lot of places I would love to visit in America and New York as well. And hopefully one day I'll be able to. The next question is from Fiona Louise. This was so relaxing and interesting. Thanks, Fiona. I have a question for your next February video. If you had to choose between only wearing vintage perfumes, the genuine article in brackets, or new perfumes for the rest of your life, which would you choose? By the way, I think you look quite a bit like a young Graham Norton. I met him once and was so starstruck I couldn't say a word. Thank you. Okay, so if I have to choose between only wearing vintages or new perfumes, oh my gosh, that's really hard. But I'm leaning towards saying wearing new perfumes, because even though, in my opinion, the designer world of perfume is going really downhill very fast, there are so many cool new niche brands out there that are making things that I'm falling in love with left, right and center. So I could give up vintage, because one of the biggest loves of this passion is smelling new things. So I think, yeah, I would have to say new, because you never know what's around the corner. There's new molecules being discovered, there's new accords being made all the time, and I like avant-garde contemporary perfume as much as I like vintage. So I hope that answers your question. The next question is from James Nash. Loved this. I'll add to Cazador's 3 question. What is it about music, musicians and fragrance Yourself, Justin Copeland, Mr. Smelly. I understand Keith Richards wore Habit Rouge. Do you believe in those transpositions of scent? What is it about music and perfumery? I think there is a lot of the language that crosses over. Music is composed, fragrances are composed with notes, You have chords, you have accords. Smells can become a symphony. There's so much that crosses over in terms of language and I guess emotion. That's why they're not interconnected, but it's a similar thing in that kind of esoteric sort of way, I guess. Music is also transportative and so is fragrance. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just a thing. It's definitely a thing though. But I see it as the language and the way things are structured and stuff like that. So thanks for your question. That's a really cool question. The next question is from Molly Smith. Hello, Molly. Hi, Tom. Thank you for the Q&As. I've been watching your channel for several years now. Oh my gosh. And I love it. I like the sweet smell of lilies. Could you please recommend a perfume with lilies for beginners without any difficult undertones of rot and decay? The first thing that comes to my mind is one of the Dior ones, and it's one of the older ones. I think it's Diorella. It might be Diorissimo, but I'm pretty sure it's Diorella. That is a really nice lily fragrance. Friendly, kind of simple, not too overbearing. There's also one by Cartier as well. It might be Le Panther. Check that one out. I do these things a little bit off the cuff, so sorry, you've caught me off guard, but I like that. And if you wanted to go and delve into the niche type stuff, there is a fragrance by Pierre Guillaume and it's called Appelez-moi Seychelles. And that one smells to me exactly like 6-petaled lilies or oriental lilies, the ones that have the pollen on them that is poisonous to cats and stains your clothes. That sort of lily smell. It's really, really nice. So it's kind of dry though. It smells pretty much like that flower. So that's 3. I hope that helps you. But the Cartier one, I'm pretty sure it's Panther. What's the other thing I'm thinking of? Molly. It is not that perfume. It's Beza Vol. I knew there was a Cartier perfume that had lots of lily in it, and I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna steer moles wrong. I just can't do that. So I just quickly had a look, and while my battery had run out at the same time. It's that one. Beza Vol by Cartier. That's a good lily. Go for that one. The next question came from Babsy B. I have a personal question. Are you in a relationship? And if so, is your significant other also a perfume addict? And I just need to say again, I really love your channel. You seem totally like my kind of people. Well, thanks, Babsy. I love your name as well. It's really cool. Yes, I am in a relationship and my significant other is not a perfume addict, which is good because you can't have 2. There's only room for 1 perfume addict in this house. So thanks, Babsy. The next question is from Miss Felly. Hi Tom, love you and your reviews. My question, how are you? I'm all right, you know. I'm all right. I'm really tired. I am extremely grateful to have a job. I didn't have a job for the longest time, so there's ups and downsides. I'm 100% grateful for having a job at the moment, but I'm having very long days, so I'm having to do videos as and when I can. That's how I am, but I'm really, really happy otherwise. Super happy, you know, just loving my perfume life right now. But yeah, I'm very tired. And I recently, because I've got a job and I have much less time to do videos now, I'm having to, like I said, squeeze them in when I can. And things keep going wrong. I keep having things happen where I can't do a video, or that sound wasn't on, or the lighting was crazy in that one, or the birds are having a hissy fit about something, so I've got no time or silence. But other than that, I'm really, really good. And things like this is, I guess, my day off. I like it. I get to just chat about perfume with you guys. So thanks for asking. But you had something else as well, didn't you? Also, could you tell us an interesting fact about yourself? I always look forward to your Q&As. Interesting fact about myself. I have a gold medal in trampolining. I was the best trampolinist in my entire borough when I was in the under-19s group. I've once been in an opera. I like to sing quite a lot. I almost got bitten by a shark in Australia. And when I did my dodo review, physiologist recently, I wasn't wearing any trousers. How about that? The next question is from MG. I have a question for you. How come you don't have commercials through your videos? And by the way, thank you for choosing that. I do have commercials. I have them at the beginning and I have them at the end, but I know how annoying it is when you're watching a video and it just pops up in the middle. Yeah, I don't put it in because I know how annoying it is. Maybe I should start doing it. Now you're making me think. The next question is from Medalman. Are you single? If so, would you consider a long distance relationship with an American that is smitten with you? I don't know, Medalman. Do you live in San Francisco or New York or Vermont or Vegas or New York? I am not single, but thank you. I'm very, very flattered. The next question is from Kay Bochnek. Hi Tom, which perfume store would you recommend in London? There's a few, really. My recommendation would be, and I have a video actually coming up about them, it's a shop called Javoy and it's in Mayfair. It's a niche perfume shop that is very, very sexy and calm when you go in. It's very sleek and beautifully designed. The staff are so nice there and there's so many brands to choose from. A lot of them admittedly do cater to the Middle Eastern market. There's a lot of brands in there that are, you know, black and gold packaging. There's quite a lot of oud, but then there are some really interesting brands that you can't get anywhere else. So I would recommend Javoy. I have a bag of samples from them that I got when I did my meetup back in summer with some of you guys, and I haven't smelled any, so I want to do just a random sniffing and talk about some of the brands that Javoy sell. I'd recommend Javoy. There's also Le Senteur for, you know, niche stuff as well. A little bit more commercial, a little bit more kind of luxury brands as opposed to super niche like Javoy. And other than that, there are lots of individual ones. So you've got Ormond Jane, English perfumer. There's Perfume H, which is owned by Lynn Harris. There's Joe Loves. There is Floris. Lots of the kind of classic British ones, I would say. I would try those. Penhaligon's as well. Check and Speak. Atkinson's. The list goes on and on and on. But I really like Javoy. The next question is from Sarah, or Sarah, why? My first question is, if you had to give up one designer house and one niche house for the rest of your life, who would you be comfortable never smelling from again? And my second question is, why are you so charming? You're so sweet, thank you. I don't think I'm charming, I'm just myself. I just try to be happy. You should see me off camera. I'm not charming at all. I'm only joking. So give up one designer and one niche. Do you mean of ones that I own, or do you just mean brands that I could just never smell from again? I'm gonna answer it in that way. So one designer brand that I would be happy never to smell anything again from is Hugo Boss. I just think that every time I smell a new one by them, I'm just, I don't know. There's never been really any of theirs that have really been amazing to me. There's so many men's ones that are all just, it's just a pile of perfumes that are just, who are you? What is this? So Hugo Boss I can take or leave. They do cater more towards men anyway, but the women's ones that I would seek out, I don't have any desire to smell them. And niche brand that I could let go, there's plenty. As much as I say that I'm a niche lover and I do review a lot of them, I review the ones that I think are worth talking about. I do smell a lot that I think are just not even worth it. I mean, especially, the main reason is because they charge so much. That's what would put me off a niche brand. And the way they smell, of course. But let me have a think on this one. I'm going to say, and this is going to be controversial, Roger Dove. And the reason for that is, it's going back to what I just said. It's a brand that charges very big amounts of money to buy their perfumes. They look absolutely beautiful. But to look at them and to hold them, they're like a little piece of art with all the little jewels. But I've smelled a lot of them, and I smelled a lot of them when I went to the top floor of Harrods with a friend of mine, Olga. I actually vlogged that day as well. And she said as well, they're just boring, and she just hit it on the head. To me, they're nothing special or groundbreaking. And I'll tell you a funny story. She said that quite loud, and Roger Dove happened to be sitting right there, and he heard her say it as well. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you. Okay, the next one is from Keith Gray. I remember you. Hi Thomas, got some questions for your Feb video. Do you like Aaron Terrence Hughes or by Kilian? Okay, Aaron Terrence Hughes, let me talk about him actually. He's going to be mentioned in a next video coming up. I first tried Aaron Terrence Hughes' perfumes when he kind of first launched. I tried his first bunch of perfumes that were just called Rose, Cedarwood Bergamot, Oud, Tobacco Oud Vanilla, those kinds of ones. And yes, I did like them, not all of them. I think the Oud and the Tobacco Oud Vanilla are the two best. However, a subscriber of mine recently, we swapped parcels and she put two of his newer ones in there. One of them is called Goddess, and I was bowled over by how beautiful it is. And it's gonna be coming up in a video about 5 discoveries and 5 disappointments that I've smelled recently as a discovery. So I haven't tried a lot of his new stuff, so I can't really answer, but judging on his first ones, I liked some of them, yes. Now by Kilian, that's another matter. I don't like by Kilian fragrances, and there's only one big reason for that, and that is that they do gourmand. So many of their fragrances are super sweet, and I don't wear gourmand fragrances unless there's something edgy or cool about them. So many by Kilian fragrances I've tried have just been way over sweet for me. Love the packaging, think they're beautiful, sleek, amazing bottles, but the fragrances I have been left underwhelmed pretty much every time. Which leads me on to say, I have a little bunch of by Kilian perfumes that I haven't tried. That is going to be an upcoming video as well, where I sniff them. So look out for that one. You also said, you mentioned something about work. What do you do? I'm not going to talk about where I work, unfortunately. I don't think it's wise. I still work in a place that sells fragrances, so I'm still in my element and I'm still happy. I'm very happy in my new job, very happy. But I don't really feel like I should announce where I work on the internet. Sorry, but I answered your other questions, so I hope you're not too mad. The next one's from Cicely. Hi Tom, one question from me for your next video. Do you ever go off a perfume because suddenly you smell an annoying note you had not noticed before? Or there's something vague about the perfume that makes you queasy? That's happened to me quite a few times, but I don't read much about that. If so, which perfumes did you have that experience with? And the other way around. I don't think it's about not noticing a note that you noticing a note that you previously hadn't. I think it's just taste changing, or as bad as it is to say, just a level of boredom. You know, a lot of us fragrance lovers, we're very fickle and we're always looking for the next exciting thing, and it's kind of a rush to get something new. And I think what happens is either your taste changes, because I used to wear gourmand fragrances, going back to my last question, but I don't anymore because my taste has changed. But also you can have a fragrance and you can suddenly not get tired of it, but you can just think, right, okay, I've dealt with that one now. I'm not over it, it's there. This is why we're doing the Project Pan thing on my Ouch Mom I Know Smelly Friends group, to show some love to some things that you're trying to finish. So all of us, well not all of us, but a lot of us have got little projects for that exact reason. Working the other way around, absolutely. There have been fragrances that have been on my radar before and I've tried them and then I've tried them again and I'm like, that's okay. And then there's like a eureka moment and something happens where you just fall in love. It definitely happens more that way around than it does the other. There's a fragrance called Aya by ALCHEMY. It's in a white bottle. I wore it so many times, thought that it was nice, loved it. And then one day I wore it and it was just, a light bulb went off and it's like the beauty just got revealed, like somebody pulled a curtain back. And you mentioned something about queasy. There's nothing really that makes me queasy in perfume, but some things do shock me. More recently, I tried that Odor Space perfume and it was not the best experience. It made me scared as opposed to queasy. Anyway, thanks for your question. The next one is from Jackie Bits. Jackie, you have been around a long time. I'm not saying you're old, I mean a long time. here in this space. Question, what scent were you wearing when you met your partner, and do you know what your partner was wearing at the time? I have no idea. I was absolutely blind drunk out with my 3 best friends, 3 sheets to the wind, or whatever the phrase is, not even noticing who was right next to me, let alone what perfume I was wearing. So I would love to remember, but I don't. Sorry, Jackie. And this one comes from Cazadores03. I have a more personal question. I have seen, oh, this is the question that the other person was referring to before about music. I've seen your tattoo of musical notes on your wrist. This one. Yes. And you seem to know a lot about different musicians, artists based off of your video of perfuming celebrities. Do you play any instruments? Does music inspire your perfume creations? I don't play any instruments. I wouldn't even call it play. I can make sound come out of musical instruments in a somewhat pleasant way, but I wouldn't say that I can physically play anyone to any kind of ability. I would love to be able to. Piano would be my instrument of choice, if that was the case. Does music inspire your perfume creations? I only have 1 perfume that I've created, or maybe 2, but no, neither of those were inspired by music. But in terms of music, yeah, I mean, aren't we all music lovers? I'm definitely a huge music lover. I was always the person at school that sang. I was in the choirs, and like I said before, I've been in an opera, the English National Opera, on stage in central London, which is really cool. I've always sang, and music is one of those things that makes me feel as good as fragrance. You know, when you get, I call them, this is going to sound crude, it's musical goosebumps, but I call them orgasm notes. When that one thing can just hit you and it can just send a shiver all down your body. I can get it from a harmony or an inflection in the way someone sings, or a rasp in someone's voice. I guess it's a little bit like ASMR, but yes, this is on my wrist because of my love for music. But in terms of perfume, I wouldn't say they're related in the creation side. I've only created 1 true fragrance, and it's FAUN, which is available on Etsy, by the way. And that's inspired by a mythical creature in a forest, so no. He does play a flute though. This one came from fricking Stan, and it was on my Dior Pure Poison review. It says, can this perfume go as unisex? It's that age-old question. I'm gonna answer this one and tell you that I always say that any perfume can be unisex. If you're talking about the traditional sense, it's a super powdery, feminine, floral smell. So if you, Stan, are a guy and you're a little bit iffy about wearing something that's super marketed towards women, you might not want to try this one, but I wear it. It smells clean to me. It smells like white billowing curtains. It makes me feel like I just smell really clean and elegant. So that's why I like it. But if you're talking about traditional scents, I would maybe stay away from this one. The next one's from Lil Joe. What would you consider a country person scent for a guy? Thank you for doing this video. Cheers to you. What do you mean country person? Do you mean somebody that lives in the countryside? Or do you mean country as in country, like American cowboy rootin' tootin', gunslinging, lily-livered, yellow-bellied? I'm gonna go down the cowboy theme because that's the only thing I can fathom right now. I would want a country person, if I met one, or expect a country cowboy person to smell like smoke and leather and hay. So something with those 3 notes in it. Look up something that's got leather, smoke and hay in it. Smoke because of the pistols. I'm talking about Wild Western films right now. I hope I'm not offending anyone. I just don't really know how to answer this question. Smoke, leather and hay. There you go. The next question came from Holly Mulligan. This was on my Hudson's spotlight that I did recently. Please help. Why am I trying so hard to like oud? I don't know. It makes me feel sick, but I really keep trying to like it at great expense. Please explain oud to me. I think, Holly, if you don't like it, just don't like it. It's the same with me. I did that with duck. I know that I don't like duck, and I tried it 3, 4, 5 times, and every time I was like, no, definitely don't like it. If you don't like something, don't force yourself to like it. There are so many other things that you can smell. If you want me to explain oud to you, it's an extremely dense woody note that is sometimes dirty, it's medicinal, it's animalic. It can be kind of rough when you smell it, if it's real oud especially. So it's not a note that everyone likes instantly. It's overdone, and it's also, in a lot of fragrances, it's used in too much, a big amount, where it, to me, it just overtakes, but some people love it, and it's crossed over into the Western world in perfumery. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Just try something else. The next question is from Lee. What is your zodiac sign? I am curious. Lee, I am a Gemini. I don't know if that's obvious from my personality, but people tell me that I am such a typical Gemini. I love Geminis. Geminis are the best. I'm not saying I love myself, but my close friends are Geminis as well. I like the personality traits of Gemini, good and bad. So I'm a Gemini, the twins. Fun fact, my name actually means twin as well. Does that mean that I'm a true gold star Gemini? Maybe. Oh, that question was on my Roses for Valentine's Day video, and this question is also on my Rose Perfumes for Valentine's Day. It's from Hot Tea with Milk. Perfume newbie here. What does Oriental mean / describe in perfume? I googled it and got a few descriptions. Thanks, y'all. So, Hot Tea with Milk. What does Oriental mean? Orientals are my personal favorite style of fragrance. It is a style of fragrance. Usually it constitutes amber. So Oriental fragrances by character are opulent, rich, balsamic, resinous, warm, spicy perfumes, as opposed to, say, something like a Chypre, which is much more woody. Orientals have things like myrrh in them, amber, apopanax, lots of other resins. Orientals usually have a lot of resinous materials in them, smooth, velvety, something that you would wear on a night out. Wow, the rain is just crazy right now. Often paired together with spices. Think of things from the Orient, and there you go, you'll have the idea of what they are. They are amazing. Some good examples: Opium by Yves Saint Laurent is a great Oriental. Shalimar by Guerlain, super famous Oriental. There are many. I suggest going to Fragrantica and looking up Orientals under the categories, and you might see a few and go, ah, okay, I get it now. But Orientals are awesome. The next question was on my January questions, and it's from Elementira. Sounds like a superhero name. I have a question. I had real Shizuo leave for the first time this weekend at a Japanese restaurant. It was a garnish, but the sushi chef was like, sure, try it. It's edible, but I don't like the taste. And the flavor was so unique and cool. Reminded me of a cousin to mint. Do you have any favorite Shizuo fragrances, or know any fragrance where Shizuo is highlighted? Yes, I can think of one straight away, and it's called Fille de Dieu, and it's by État Libre d'Orange. It's a fragrance that is inspired by the Philippines. So it has a big Shizuo leaf note in the opening, I should say, with coconut and rice as well. So it does kind of have a little bit of a Thai green curry smell at first, but when it dries, it's really, really beautiful. It goes musky and comforting and warm. So try out Fils de Dieu. It means son of God, and it's by État Libre d'Orange. The next question comes from Ain, and it was also on my Valentine's Day Roses, where I showed you guys my rose collection of perfumes. Go and check it out if you haven't watched it. It says, thank you so much for this. Well, you're very welcome. Do you have any recommendations for perfumes with prominent Tonka bean notes? Or could you do a top 10 perfumes with Tonka bean? Oh my gosh, I love Tonka so much, and I'm still yet to discover many. There are two that stick out to me, and it's going to be very obvious, the first one. It's by Christian Dior, and it's called Fève Delicious. This, I think, is the best Tonka bean fragrance that I've tried. It's so, so gorgeous. It feels a tiny bit coconutty a little bit in the opening. Tonka is lovely. It's such a great alternative to vanilla. I have said before, I will take Tonka over vanilla any day. The other one is, I got it recently. It was a gift from a lovely subscriber. It's called Wicked Good, and it's by Gallagher Fragrances. It opens very, very chocolatey, but dries super Tonka. So those are two that I know. I'm still on my Tonka discovery, I would say, so I hope that helps. The next one is from Delius Linden, and this was also on my Valentine's Roses perfume, blah, 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 blah. Have you smelled Rosa Botanica? I find it superior to Flora Botanica. It loses that pillow spray vibe. I don't think Flora Botanica is a pillow spray smell. Anyway, in answer to your question, I have smelled it, but I smelled it such a long time ago that I don't remember what it's like at all. I have seen a lot of comments about Rosa Botanica. Whenever I mention Flora Botanica, people always pipe up about Rosa Botanica. I need to try it again. I don't remember what it's like at all. So in answer to your question, yes, I have, but I can't really remember, so I can't comment. For now, I love Flora Botanica. I think it's a great one. But thanks for your question. Second to last question. This one comes from Marja, also on the roses one. I didn't listen to all the video yet, so I don't know. Did you mention Argent Provocateur perfume? It's very unique, strong, rose, saffron. It isn't typical women's soft and romantic perfume, but it's my favorite rose perfume. Also, I like other rose perfumes which are blended with oud, woody or vanilla too. I did not mention Argent Provocateur perfume in that video because I do not have it. And I want to say, so many comments on that video were saying, what? There's no this in it, or you forgot that, or why didn't you put that one in the video? This one's a rose. I think some people got lost on the fact that this is my rose collection. These are the rose perfumes I own. So by saying you forgot that one and I can't believe you didn't put that one in, it's because I don't have them. It's not, I don't have them in my collection to show you. It was a collection video. It wasn't a suggestion video. So in answer to your question, Marja, I know I didn't mention that perfume in the video because, and for everybody else, I do not own it. So I hope that answers your question. Thanks very much. And the last question is from Jen Baba Sibal. Hi Tom, this was on my January questions as well. This is an odd and perhaps more interesting question for you. Oh great, we've got one of those for the end. I'm glad. Triggered by an article I read, but do you have any perfume recommendations that smell like sex? Oh my God, YouTube bods are gonna shut me down. Like actual sweat and grime, or even interesting ingredients or fantasy notes that give fragrance that dirty edge to make it smell more authentic. I don't know. I do know that there are a lot of fragrances inspired by that subject. I'm not gonna say the word too much in case they take this video down. I don't know, I'm scared. There is Secretions Magnifique, which is meant to kind of smell like an orgy. Kind of like the Jean Grenoy perfume from the Story of a Murderer story, book, film, that type of thing. There are definitely notes that can smell carnal or give that, I guess, slightly unwashed human smell, and that would be cumin. But cumin is very easy to do wrong, and it's very easy for it to go over into just BO smell where it's unpleasant. I don't really know of any perfumes that smell like that, unfortunately. Certain types of musks do though, definitely cumin, and certain aquatic notes, things like coriander as well can smell a little bit like bodily fluids. And this is not a nice subject, but it's definitely an odd question and I like it. Anyway guys, I hope you liked this video. I hope it wasn't too long for you. I answered as many questions as I could from February. I will do this again in March and forevermore until people don't ask questions anymore. I hope you're enjoying your week. I'm Ouch Romano, trying to make the world smell better, one video at a time. I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.